My name is Washington Josué Luna Rizzo. My topic is lower extremity functional screening for biomechanical faults in female athletics. The definition: the most frequent muscle injuries in women due to poor performance of the technique occur in the hamstring and the psoas triceps, calf and soleus. There are risk factors that increase the possibility of injury. Some examples are the cold, a bad warm-up, a bad hydration or diet, or a bad post-workout recovery.
I grew up my whole life playing sports. I was really involved throughout high school, and then in college I joined the women's rowing team. That's when I started first experiencing pretty severe anxiety my freshman year of undergrad, and at the time didn't know what that was. Due to my anxiety I was experiencing and disordered eating behaviors, I developed what we call the female athlete triad. This is a triad of 3 components. The first component is low energy availability. So this happens when an athlete is not eating enough to fulfill their energy needs while also expending a lot of energy through exercise and training. Our bodies are so fascinating and so smart that they decide to prioritize that low energy in our bodies, the very few amount of calories we have left, and they decide not to use that energy for other kind of unnecessary functions like reproduction. We call that amenorrhea, when a woman loses her menstrual period. And so that is the second part of the triad. And then the third component of the triad is low bone mineral density. So we see a loss of BMD, as we call it. In female athletes, especially those in these high impact endurance sports, that often results in bone stress fractures. I've struggled throughout my life with anxiety, especially throughout college, and eating disorders, and so these are topics that are really close to my heart and I think deserve a lot more attention around campus, but specifically within the public health space. I hope to use these skills that I'm learning in epidemiology to show this issue of female athlete triad in this population of collegiate female athletes and beyond.
Application in physical therapy. First of all, physiotherapy in athletics play a fundamental role in injury prevention beyond those already mentioned. There are multiple risk factors that can trigger muscle injuries. A physiotherapist is responsible for assessing intrinsic aspects of the body, strength, flexibility, state of the musculature, biomechanics. In addition, she will establish treatment guidelines to reduce the risk of injury. Pros and cons. Pros: detecting failures in technical gestures will help prevent possible future injuries. Implements that help the correct execution of the technique such as footwear. Cons: in the absence of competition such as in golf or tennis, the runner may lose interest and soon become bored. A high-impact sport in the extremities that can lead to neck and ankle injuries. Issue applied in Ecuador. Physiotherapy is responsible for the assessment of the injury, diagnosis, and early treatment from the first day. In this way, the athlete reduces the time spent in sport as much as possible. We first assess the injury with an ultrasound. Later, we carry out physiotherapy treatment with the latest technologies. In addition, it is essential to follow the rest and exercise guidelines that the physiotherapist prescribes. Conclusion. The knowledge of the appropriate technical gesture will allow to recognize the failures in the movements that the athlete performs and thus be able to trace the origin of the problem, avoiding complications in the future. Thank you.
I started dancing when I was really young. From dancing, I went to cheerleading. Been playing field hockey since I was in 6th grade and soccer since I was a freshman. I like being competitive and winning. So I was a cheerleader and I had a competition. I was doing my routine and I jumped and I landed wrong. My knees went in towards each other and I just felt a pop, and then I fell.
By the time I got there, they were about to put her on the stretcher and take her to the hospital.
And then I got an MRI, and then they told me that I tore my ACL. I hated being injured, not being able to play, so I just wanted to get back on the field and play again.
Specifically when you're dealing with high school and junior high school age athletes, and the ultimate goal is to get them not just back on the field, but also get them back to the level of play that they had prior to their injury.
I knew that Cameron was going to be in good hands.
She did everything we asked of her in the beginning. She iced when she was supposed to. She took her anti-inflammatory. She did her home exercises.
They pushed me to do my best because they know what I can do. And if I was like slacking one day, say, then they would be like, I know you can do better.
So what we've noticed in the past several decades, there's been a tremendous increase in the amount of athletic participation of female athletes. And with that, we've noticed a significant rise in ACL tears.
When a girl lands from a jump, her knees tend to come in towards each other versus staying out nice and wide over her toes, which has to do with weakness at her hips.
And a lot of the research that we do is focusing not just on treatment of ACL injuries, but also on prevention.
I only see one patient an hour, so here at Nemours, I can spend that entire hour with that patient. So really be kind of picky about how they do their exercises on their form.
The staff here, they want to see you do better and do better the right way. And I feel like I do anything now. Like I can jump higher. This season coming up, when I'll be stretching a lot and doing more activities.
I regularly meet with the therapists and trainers, just informally and formally, just to kind of go over patients, just to see how everybody's doing.
I like the team because they cared about Cameron and they were actually hard on her to make sure that she was doing what she was doing, not just during the sessions here, but also when at home.
I'm strong and I'll continue to get stronger and stronger. So now I just go hard every day.